Good morning, everyone. So in my previous video, I talked a little bit about responding to babies' needs and feeding on demand. So I'm just doing a little exceptions video now. So this is exceptions to feeding on demand, and I'm specifically thinking about breastfed babies here. So the first exception I would identify would be sometimes when a baby is very little, and I'm talking sort of a week or under, or if they are unwell when they're first born or in that first couple of 2-3 weeks, sometimes their ability to wake when they need to eat is compromised. Normally babies wake every 2 or 3 hours, sometimes more often, sometimes a little less often, but they wake because they're hungry. So in some circumstances, a baby will lose that ability to wake when they need to eat. Jaundice would be one, potentially, if they've been born a little early, if they've been born a little small, if they were unwell, those kind of things. And then they stop being able to wake up when they need to eat. And in that circumstance, your medical professional, your midwife or whoever, might suggest to you that you need to wake your baby. And you normally, it's not always this way, but normally it's every 3 hours from the beginning of one feed to the beginning of the next. So that might be a circumstance in which you're not led by them, you're not feeding on demand, you're telling them when to do that. And then usually the case would be that when the difficulty, the jaundice or the prem or something like that has subsided, you go back to the normal, which is what I would say is feeding on demand. Okay, so that's one exception. The second exception is if you're a breastfeeding mum and you make a lot of milk and you're awake in the night because your breasts are full and painful, that is a moment to wake your baby, because breastfeeding is a team sport. So if you are awake because you're full and you need to empty those breasts, the best thing to do is just to nudge your baby and go, come on, hun, help me out here. And that's completely fine. So those are your exceptions, I would say, in the early weeks for not feeding on demand.